One thing you realize when you've traveled a lot is that there's some places where your money goes really far, and there's other places where your bank account is draining all day long. After traveling to 62 countries in the last few years, I want to share with you my top 10 cheapest countries where you can travel lavishly for just around $50 a day. And to put this into perspective, with just $50 a day, that's a 2-week vacation for just $700, not including flights. That is an insane deal. And also, if you use Google Flights, you can find the best price airfare to these destinations as well, making them super affordable. With that said, let's start with my number 10 and work backwards to my number 1 favorite. Make sure to stick around until my number 1 because most people didn't even know that this was a country. Alright, number 10 is Guatemala. Guatemala is one of those countries that surprised me almost immediately. And in my opinion, it's one of the most unique countries that's also close to the US. Antigua is incredibly walkable, with colorful streets, colonial architecture, and volcanoes towering in the background. You can spend your days wandering, sitting in cafes, or exploring old ruins scattered throughout the city. Lake Atitlan is another highlight, a place where you can base yourself in different lakeside towns, each with its own feel, and spend your time taking boat rides, walking local markets, and just slowing down. Food is simple here, comforting and affordable as well. Fresh tortilla, beans, meats, chocolates, and great local coffee. It's easy to stay under budget here without ever feeling like you're missing out. In Guatemala, you can be adventurous and hike volcanoes, or be chill in a lakeside town, which is a big reason it works so well. Traveling on a budget, you can usually land around $35 to $55 per day. And that includes hostels or simple guest houses, local meals, shared shuttles, and a couple of paid sites. If you're spending a bit more, around $70 to $100 a day, you can do private rooms in nicer places and more guided activities and tours. Up next is a country in the Balkans known for its rich history, stunning scenery, and incredibly friendly people, and that is Albania. Here, you can explore ancient towns like Berat and Eurocastor, both UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Along the coast, you'll find stunning beaches and crystal clear blue waters on the Albanian Riviera. In the capital city Tirana, colorful street art fills lively streets, creating a vibrant atmosphere. With its natural beauty and welcoming culture, Albania is an incredible place to explore and make unforgettable memories. You can easily spend a week here, and I couldn't recommend it more. If you want to save some money, I recommend staying in an Airbnb, such as like a beach house, instead of the newly built all-inclusive resorts. If you love nature, I strongly recommend visiting the southern part of Albania, where the beaches are even more beautiful and mountains and cliffs rise right next to the shore. As you travel south past the city of Vlorë, you'll climb a mountain pass, and once the road begins to descend, you're rewarded with breathtaking views of the coastline and cliffs. You can even take a hike up Mount Sika for an even better view. Just be careful if you're visiting in the spring or winter, as there could still be snow at the top. Albania is one of the most affordable countries in Europe. Traveling on a budget, you can easily spend under $30 per day, including accommodation, local transportation, and meals. With a higher budget of around $70 a day, you can stay in much nicer hotels and eat at great restaurants. Next on the list is Poland. Located in Central Europe, Poland is bursting with history, charm, and natural beauty. You can explore medieval cities like Krakow, Gdańsk, and Warsaw, where cobblestone streets lead to majestic castles and cathedrals. Nature lovers can enjoy tranquil lakes in Masuria or the towering peaks of the Tatra Mountains, perfect for outdoor adventures. I could promote Poland endlessly, as I truly believe it's one of the most beautiful and underrated places in Europe. If you don't have time to explore the entire country, I recommend sticking to the north and the south. In the north, your itinerary would include the Tri-City along the Baltic Sea, with Gdańsk alone easily filling several days. Nearby beaches are beautiful, though very crowded in the summer. Less than an hour from Gdańsk is Malbork Castle, the largest castle in the world and the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Further south, you'll find Toruń, another stunning medieval city, or Warsaw, Poland's capital, a modern city with excellent museums and cultural events. In the south, your journey would likely start in Krakow, which was once Poland's capital for centuries. Its historic old town amazes visitors from all around the world. It's a vibrant city with amazing nightlife, restaurants, and cafes on every corner. From Krakow, there's 3 must-see destinations nearby. First is the Wieliczka salt mine, an underground city and truly unique attraction. About an hour west is Auschwitz, a deeply moving and difficult experience, but one that is important to visit. And for outdoor lovers, heading south takes you to the Tatra Mountains, my favorite place in Poland, with stunning alpine lakes and dramatic peaks. Poland is very affordable compared to Western Europe. Traveling on a budget, you can spend under $30 per day. For higher-end travel with nicer hotels and restaurants, expect around $60 to $65 per day. If you're enjoying this video so far and feel inspired, it would mean a great deal to me for you to subscribe below. Okay, let's continue. Next on the list is the Philippines. The biggest expense here is getting all the way across the Pacific. But once you do that, everything slows down, including your spending. The real magic of the Philippines is on the islands. Places like El Nido on Palawan are almost unreal. Limestone cliffs rising straight out of the turquoise water, quiet beaches, and boat days where you're hopping between islands. Days here are so simple in the best way. Scooter rides to empty beaches, snorkeling right off the boat, watching the sunset in the ocean. Food is straightforward and affordable, and it's easy to eat well without overthinking it. If you want a trip that feels epic and also relaxing, Philippines is your choice. On a budget here, plan on roughly $30 to $50 a day if you're doing simpler stays, which are still nice, local food, and being selective with tours and boat days. With a higher budget around $55 to $95 a day, you can upgrade to nicer hotels, do more island hopping tours, and eat at better restaurants more often. Up next is Mexico. It's one of the easiest destinations from the US to travel to, and once you get outside the all-inclusive resorts, it becomes very affordable. Browsing local markets and eating street food that's honestly better than anything you'll find in high-end restaurants. You can spend days exploring colonial cities, sitting in plazas, drinking coffee and fresh juice. We're taking day trips to different Mayan ruins and nearby towns. Food is a huge part of the experience here. Tacos, tamales, fresh tortillas, street food. You can eat incredibly well every single day without spending much at all. Mexico feels familiar enough to be comfortable and has so many layers it never gets boring. Traveling on a budget, you can often keep it around $40 to $65 per day, and that includes hostels and cheaper hotels, tacos and local spots, public transit, and a few attractions. With a higher budget around $80 to $130 a day, you can stay in much nicer hotels and do more tours, taxis, and sit-down restaurants, especially in pricier areas. Next on the list is a captivating country in Eastern Europe with so much to discover, and that is Romania. Here you can explore the famous region of Transylvania, home to Dracula legends, medieval towns, and stunning castles. The Carpathian Mountains offer breathtaking views and excellent hiking, while the capital city, Bucharest, is vibrant and full of life, with historic landmarks like the Palace of the Parliament. Spending a week in Romania will only scratch the surface. I highly recommend starting in the Carpathians and spending a few days in Brasov, a beautiful city at the foot of the mountains. From there you can visit Bran Castle, famously associated with Dracula, and while another nearby castle claims the same title, I recommend visiting both. One of the highlights of Romania is the Trans-Făgărașan Road, considered one of the most scenic drives in the world. Winding through the Carpathians, it offers breathtaking views of the valleys, waterfalls, and towering peaks. Just be sure to check if it's open, as snow often keeps it closed until the late spring. I also recommend spending a few days in Bucharest. The Palace of the Parliament, which is the second largest building in the world, is absolutely massive. It took us about 45 minutes just to walk around it. Romania still has noticeable price differences between rural areas and cities, but overall, it's very affordable. On a budget, you can spend around $40 per day, while higher-end travel will cost $80 or more. Next on the list is Colombia. Colombia is one of those countries where it consistently offers more than you expect for the price. Cities like Medellin are modern, easy to navigate, and surrounded by green hills that make the whole place feel alive. You can spend your days walking vibrant neighborhoods, riding cable cars over the city, or taking short trips into the coffee region. Food is hearty here, filling, and affordable, and eating out never feels like a budget decision. Transportation is also inexpensive. Accommodations are comfortable, and overall quality of life for the cost is excellent. Colombia is also one of the biggest digital nomad hotspots, no surprise here. And it's a place I would go back to without hesitation. On a budget, $35 to $55 a day is realistic, which includes hostels, local meals, buses and metros, and a few paid activities. With a higher budget around $70 to $110 a day, you can stay in nicer hotels, take more guided tours, and be more flexible with private transport and go to places like Cartagena. The next country is located in southeastern Europe and is known for its rich history, stunning landscapes, and vibrant culture, and that is Greece. You can admire the ancient ruins of Athens, relax on beautiful islands in the Aegean and Ionian seas, and wander through charming villages filled with whitewashed buildings and cobblestone streets. Greece is one of the most popular destinations in Europe, and for a good reason. Athens is an absolute must-see. For me, it's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever visited, with a majestic acropolis, incredible food, and charming streets everywhere. If you're traveling mainland Greece, I also recommend the Peloponnese Peninsula, home of some of the oldest ancient cities in Europe, including Mycenae, where King Agamemnon began his journey to Troy over 3,000 years ago. Most travelers also visit the islands. While Mykonos and Santorini are beautiful, they're expensive and very crowded. The amazing thing about Greece is that many lesser-known islands are just as stunning. For example, Karpathos? Wow, I couldn't recommend it more. Crystal clear water, colorful towns, and far fewer tourists. Costs vary widely depending on location, but outside the most famous islands, you can easily travel for under $50 per day. Higher end travel can be much more expensive, but it all depends on where you go. Up next on the list is mainland Southeast Asia, which includes Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Laos. What makes this region so special isn't just the fact that it's affordable, it's super easy to travel. Thailand sets the tone with incredible food, great infrastructure, in places like Chiang Mai where you can eat out for every meal, get massages every day, and stay in great locations without even trying to be frugal. Cambodia is also deeply memorable, especially at Angkor Wat, where you can spend full days exploring temples, often with a local guide, and still barely dent your budget. Vietnam is faster paced and also full of life. Street food stalls of every variety on every corner. You can eat bowls of pho every single day and it only costs a couple of dollars, and the cities never seem to slow down. And if you go to Laos, you'll find quieter towns, slower travel, and a pace that makes you want to stay longer than planned. If you want variety, culture, food, value, any one of these four or all four is a great choice. If you're traveling budget friendly, you can usually pull off $30 to $45 a day in many areas. And that includes street food, restaurants, simple rooms like hostels, using scooters and public transport, and a couple of activities. With a higher budget around $70 to $120 a day, you're in very nice hotels, more tours, more internal flights and private grab rides, and plenty of higher-end restaurant meals. Now before we get to our last country, make sure you like and subscribe if this video has been helpful so far. And finally, at number 1, drum roll please. Most people don't even know that this is a country. They just know it's the state above Florida. Yep, you guessed it already. It's the country of Georgia. Located in the Caucasus region, Georgia blends ancient traditions with breathtaking landscapes. You can explore the historic streets of Tbilisi, hike or ski in the Caucasus Mountains, and experience legendary Georgian hospitality. Georgia is a country many travelers say they wish they had more time in, me included. I recommend visiting Okatsi Canyon and Kinchka Canyon, spending an entire day for just $25 total, including a generous tip. Tbilisi itself is fascinating, with century-old churches alongside modern glass and steel architecture. Georgia cuisine is also unforgettable. Most travelers come to Georgia for the Caucasus Mountains. You can visit Stepantsminda, home to the iconic Gergely Trinity Church, or head to Mestia, surrounded by medieval stone towers and dominated by Mount Ushba, often called the Matterhorn of the Caucasus. Traveling on a tight budget, you can spend under $15 per day. Mid-range travel costs around $30 to $35 per day, and even luxury travel is surprisingly affordable at around $100 per day. So these are the 5 places that you can travel lavishly for just around $50 a day. Make sure to subscribe down below to keep up to date with more travel inspiration and places to go. If you want more details on some of these places, make sure to check out the videos on the screen. Thank you for watching.